Fluance did sponsor this video, so if you think that that's gonna bias me, then you should click off right about now. I do want to be transparent to let you guys know, and so you can judge for yourself. So here we are in my bedroom, and I've been testing out these Fluance Ai81s for a couple of weeks, so I know what it sounds like. But let's take a look at some measurements and let's see if you can guess what it sounds like. What do you notice here? Anything that you see here? I see something missing. I don't know what you guys see. How do you guys think this is gonna sound? So the first thing I notice is there's this big old dip right here in the mid-range and upper mid-range between 1 kilohertz and 3 kilohertz. What is going on right there? And also the higher frequencies above 10 kilohertz, those don't seem to be here either. So I don't know what's going on. I tested the left speaker just to make sure. I pulled it out away from the wall, so you notice that there's less of a bass response here, which we expect, but still kind of the same dip here. And this is an in-room measurement, so it's not perfect, but this is just to give you an idea of what it might sound like. Fresh Hater Jay here, so listen up. We just took a look at the frequency response of the speaker, and there are just parts of the sound that are missing. Is that done on purpose? Are they trying to do some kind of BBC dip? Are they trying to tame the high frequencies? I don't know what's going on, but just weird because this is a powered speaker. I assume it's also an active speaker, meaning they could have applied DSP to make this extremely flat, and I don't know why they didn't. The dip, that can't be a crossover issue, could it? Because they can just use the DSP to make an active crossover. So maybe it's an issue, a physical issue. I don't know exactly what's going on, but you see what I see. So you saw the measurements for yourself, but more importantly, how did they sound? And I got a chance to listen to these for a while, and my first impression was I was surprised with how much bass they have. These are floor standing speakers, and you have two 6.5-inch woofers, and it's downward ported. So all those things should add up to it having some pretty good bass response, and it did. Now, some of those issues that you found in the upper mid-range and the treble, when I listened, I honestly was just not listening critically. I wanted to kind of get an idea of just the feel of them, and I thought that they sounded pretty enjoyable. But with critical listening, I could see some of those flaws. I could hear some of those flaws. For example, I have them here in the bedroom, and we were just watching some Ted Lasso, and I noticed like I'm having kind of a hard time hearing some of the dialogue, and it might be because that falls in the range where there's a dip, or it could just be because a lot of them have a heavy British accent. I don't know.
No, not since Wembley.
But overall sound, I would say it was a pleasing sound when I'm listening to music. It's not like I'm not enjoying the music. For me, it does have a nice tonal balance, so there is a downward tilt to it. It's just that there are parts missing, and I don't know why that is. And I wish they would just do a little bit more with DSP and maybe consult with somebody to see, and maybe do some A/B testing with a bunch of people to see what they prefer. I think most people would prefer a flatter response. Luckily, you do have a remote control where you can adjust the treble and the bass. And so I did that, and I found that right in the middle was about as good as I could make it. And changing that didn't really fix any of the issues that I found before. So the bass response is a bit boosted, and it doesn't go as low as I would prefer, but you do have an option to use a subwoofer with these, and so I will make sure to try that out and see how that goes. All right, so I do have a subwoofer connected now. So here we go. This is this ELAC Vero subwoofer, and let's see how it works. All right, so taking a look at these, you can see that with the sub disconnected, this is how it looks, and when you connect the sub, then it reduces the frequency. So I assume that's about an 80 hertz region where they start to cut that off. It's not a brick wall filter. It looks like maybe 12 decibels per octave. And so what that means is that they try to reduce the bass on this to allow it to play louder. I think that's a smart decision, and it doesn't look like they're applying a filter to the subwoofer, which I think is also a good idea. I will say that I like the overall look of the speaker. I wish it had some grills on here, that would be kind of nice. But overall, the functionality, like with all the other Fluance AI speakers that I've reviewed, the AI40, AI61, AI41, AI61, they have a lot of functionality. They have Bluetooth, they have optical in. This also has 2 analog inputs. This one has a volume knob on the very top of the right speaker, and you can actually press that in to switch between different modes. It has a light in the front that will show you the different mode that you're in based on the color of the light. And you also have the option here to dim the light if you want to. So these are rather affordable speakers considering that they are floor standing speakers and they are powered, they have a lot of functionality. This is a Canadian company, but I assume that they have them made overseas. But the build quality is good, the binding posts are nice, everything about this says that it's a nice quality. I wish they would have splurged a little bit on the cable. That would just be a nice touch. I do like that this is two-tone where the outside is one color and the face is a different one, and they do have various colors on their website. One of my pet peeves is amplifier hiss, and on the original AI40 it did have an issue with that, but with these they're pretty quiet. They're not completely silent, and so I would say if you plan on using these really close to you, it might not be the perfect speaker, but at a decent distance of maybe 6 feet or higher, they'll be fine. I would say that this product is really for somebody who wants floor standing speakers. A lot of people want to save space using bookshelf speakers, but what they don't consider is that you also have to have stands, in which case you're taking about the same amount of space as a floor standing speaker. So if you do want floor standing speakers, I think that if you wanted a simple setup, you don't want to get an external amplifier, integrated amplifier, anything like that, you wanted everything built in, then I think this might be a decent solution. The target market probably won't apply DSP because I think that you could make this sound better if you applied DSP prior, but you'd have to use something like the analog input for that. So I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested in these, but let's kick it off to Fresh Hater J to finish it off with a speaker leaderboard and see where these place. All right, so here we are at the speaker leaderboard, and I've already put these in the different categories: powered speakers, they fit into the tower speaker section, as well as the under $500 section, and those are taking in consideration the functionality, all that. So you can go to speakerleaderboard.com if you want to take a look at that yourself. But right now I'm just going to put them in the category for best overall sound regardless of price. And so looking at all of these, I'm going to put it right here above the Edifier S2000 Pro. The reason being that some of these ones above it are either more accurate or have more bass, and so, you know, I'm a fan of bass. These do have a good amount of bass, but not so accurate. So there are other ones here that may have a better balance for me. You may disagree, but I'm the one doing the review. So that's it. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when I upload new videos. That's it. Take care. Bye-bye.